Last month, Ohio Democratic Representative Marcia Fudge had some interesting thoughts on cabinet positions, arguing that, quote, as this country becomes more and more diverse, we're going to have to stop looking at only certain agencies as those that people like me fit in. You know, it's always, we want to put the black person in labor or HUD. Well, Joe Biden has named Representative Marcia Fudge as his nominee for the Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. Now, Fudge's allies, including Representative Clyburn, who certainly did help Joe Biden in winning the general election, had urged President-elect Joe Biden to put Fudge in the Agriculture Department, where I actually think she would be highly effective and where I think she's needed, to be quite honest with you. The reason why I say that is because she's actually been a vocal lawmaker in terms of protecting food stamps and ensuring that we focus on helping small farmers as opposed to these massive agriculture companies and corporations. But Biden chose Tom Vilsack, who served as Secretary of Agriculture for 8 years under former President Barack Obama, to lead that department again. And there are some issues with that, John. Some issues that I think you have some details on.
And it's not to say that like everything about Vilsack's record indicates that he's going to be an absolute disaster as head of agriculture. In the past, he has. This is when he was head of, I think it was FDA under Obama. Provided a bit of strengthening for food stamps. There were a few things like that. But then some of the things that, especially in light of what we've experienced over the last year, make me really nervous about him being in charge of it is one, it was, as I alluded to earlier in the show, that he largely gave his path was mostly about self-regulation when it came to, in particular, poultry processing plants. That has been an absolute disaster, and it was a disaster. It was obviously going to be a disaster even before COVID showed how ill-equipped some of these plants are to manage themselves and to make evaluations of risk when it comes to public health. So that's certainly a concern. But then also the most important part is, and you were talking about small farmers and things like that, or even smaller farming companies. He has been very deferential in the past to some of the interests of companies like Monsanto. He's been sort of nicknamed Mr. Monsanto and things like that. And that is a big concern going forward. And so choosing him when there are many other options, whether it's Fudge, and a lot of people are happy about her potentially being the head of HUD, which is perfectly fine. Vilsack he's not the worst choice that we could have possibly had. They could have just chosen a lobbyist for Monsanto, I suppose, but it's not great either.
Right, I mean, they just chose a lobbyist, with the US Dairy Export Council. He's the president of that dairy lobby.
USDA. Sorry, yes. Sorry, not.
Yeah. Awesome. It's great. No, but there is one potential silver lining by naming. I wish Representative Fudge was named for the Agriculture Department, but if she is confirmed for HUD, this does create an opening for Nina Turner to run in her congressional seat in the state of Ohio. So we'll see how that plays out. And yeah, I just think that there is an issue here with hiring people who are currently working as lobbyists. That revolving door just keeps revolving, and it's the political corruption. It's that virus that infects every political issue against the best interests of the American people. And so again, we'll see how this plays out. Remember, there are other cabinet picks that we disagreed with. So far, there's been one cabinet pick that I've liked, and that's Javier Becerra for the Secretary of Health and Human Services. He has a pretty good record when it comes to Medicare for all, protecting Social Security, and also ensuring that we, try to fight against tax cuts for the rich.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that All you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.